I'd love to talk to you about is your amazing brain and what happens when your brain is calm and what happens to your brain when it gets anxious or worried or scared. And we're going to start talking about this with a snow globe. So our first activity, I'm going to show you a snow globe. And I want you to, boys and girls, imagine that this snow globe is your brain. So imagine this is your brain. And right now, this snow globe, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's clear right now. We can see through it. Can you see the anchor in the middle of the snow globe? Give me thumbs up if you can see the anchor. Okay, so right now, this brain is clear. Now, what you might not see, boys and girls, is at the bottom of the snow globe, there are a lot of grains of sand. And I want you to imagine that every little grain of sand stands for all your thoughts and feelings, everything you've learned with Mrs. Diamond, everything you've learned with Mrs. Bennett, everything you've learned with your parents, on your own. All those things are represented by all these little grains of sand at the bottom. So right now, this is a clear brain. We can see through it. And when our brain's clear, we can remember what we've learned. We can make good decisions. And we usually behave at our best when our brain's clear. Now, I want you to notice what happens when our brain gets stressed or our brain gets cloudy. So I'm going to shake this snow globe and tell me, can you notice what happened to that snow globe? Now you can unmute them if they want to share what they notice. What do you notice about that snow globe now that's different from when it was clear?
It's cloudy.
It's cloudy. How would you describe all that sand?
Michael, what do you say?
So, I forget.
Which, if we think about all those little pieces of sand as everything you've learned and it's getting all mixed up, do you think it's going to be harder for you to learn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It says what happens when our brain gets stressed, all our thoughts and feelings and everything we learned gets all swirly, just like that snow globe. So we're going to call that our cloudy brain. And when our brain is cloudy, it's very, very hard for us to learn. It's very hard for us to remember what we learn or to make good decisions. And it gets very hard for us to behave at our best too. So you might be thinking, well, what can I do when my brain goes from clear to cloudy, right? So let's talk for a minute about what you read in ABC Worry Free. Max's brain got very cloudy after he got stung by the bee, right? Well, let's talk a little bit more about a strategy that Max learned. He learned the ABC strategy to help his brain go from cloudy back to clear. He liked to call it a trick.
Hey, bud.
And
bring your iPad in here, please.
Why don't we repeat each of those steps? I'm going to say the step out loud. And when I go like this, boys and girls, I'm going to ask you to repeat it back out loud too. All right? So the first step of that ABC strategy is accept how you feel. Now you say.
Accept how you feel.
Yep. The second step is breathe slow and deep. Now you say.
Breathe slow and deep.
Nice. And the third step is change your thinking.
How you say.
Change your thinking.
That's right. So those three steps help Max go from a cloudy brain back to a clear brain, and you can use those 3 steps too. So let's first talk about what was it that Max had to accept.
Juliet? Mrs.
What?
Bennett, can you unmute Juliet? Mrs. Bennett? I don't know if she can hear me.
Are the kids muted?
Yes.
Yes,
Mrs.
sorry, I
Bennett?
muted everyone. I'm working on it.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. All right, we're working on our technology here, kids. Thanks for being patient.
Go ahead, Juliet.
Yes.
He had to accept that he was afraid of bees.
That's right. So he had to accept he was afraid of bees. And what was it stopping him from doing?
Paige?
So he had to accept he was afraid of bees, right? And that thought made him anxious, right? And his brain got really cloudy. And were you going to add something, honey?
And it was keeping him from playing outside.
That's right. It was keeping him from playing outside and having fun with his friends, right? And he thought if he went back outside, what was going to happen?
He would get stung by a bee again.
That's right. So those worried thoughts got his brain cloudy. So one thing he had to do was accept how he felt. I'm afraid of bees. And next step, he had to help his brain calm down by breathing slow and deep. So that's second step, breathe slow and deep. What we're gonna do now, well, first tell me, what was the type of breathing Max did in the book that helped his brain calm down a bit?
Ooh. Isabella?
Anybody remember that type of breath?
I think Isabella did.
Isabella, and it looks like Wendy. I see somebody had their hand up.
Oh, Kanav.
Okay.
Deep breathing.
Yeah, and do you remember the special kind, there was like a type of food that he kind of imagined that he had in his hand, and he would use the pizza, right? So we can call that the pizza breath. So let's just practice that together. I want you to both, or all of you, to take both of your hands, right? Palms up, and let's imagine that you have like your favorite piece of pizza right under your chin, right? And it just came out of the oven. It's still hot. Woo. And it's going to smell really good. And we are going to inhale. When I say go, we're going to inhale for 4 seconds and breathe in that yummy smell of that pizza. All right? Ready, set, go. Inhale for 4. Oh, smells good. And now it's still hot, so we got to blow it out and cool it down for 6. Ready, set, go. Nice job. And that is another step that helps cool your brain down so it can be clear again. And then what was it that Max had to do to change his thinking?
Michael?
He had to think how much fun he was gonna have outside with all his friends.
Yes. So he made a shift in his thinking, right? Instead of thinking about, oh, if I go back outside, I'm going to get stung again, and he get all worried and his brain get all cloudy, he had to focus on all the fun he was going to have. And that helped him push through that challenge of going back outside again. All right. Nice job. Thank you for those great responses. So when we think about, this cloudy brain that we talked about a little bit earlier, we can think about this, how you can use it in your life, right? How you could use the ABC strategy to help your brain go from cloudy to clear. So I'd like to hear in a minute what makes your brain cloudy. I can share, and if Mrs. Diamond or Mrs. Bennett want to share too, I can tell you that I used to be afraid of mistakes. I used to get really anxious and thought a lot of worried thoughts when I made mistakes, especially in school, and it got my brain all cloudy. I couldn't even remember what I learned. So this strategy would have helped me calm myself down so I could think clearly. Sometimes I still am even afraid of germs. Mrs. Diamond, any things that make you worried?
I think, I get very anxious about my kids' well-being. And I think, just making sure that they're okay. And even though they're older, I still just get really, really anxious that they're going to be okay. And same thing for you as with you. I worry about germs and things like that, and things that you hear on the TV. Sometimes I just have to turn the TV off and say, I don't want to hear that. I want to just put the radio on and listen to nice music and just say, I'm not going to listen to the TV anymore. I just want to listen to nice songs and hear something good. I don't want to listen to any more what's going on the TV. So those are the things I worry about sometimes.
Yeah. So, and boys and girls, what Mrs. Diamond just shared, she makes a shift in her thinking sometimes of where she's going to focus her thoughts, right? Just like Max did, he focused on the fun instead of getting stung. And I want you to all know that everyone worries from time to time. As I shared and Mrs. Diamond shared, even adults worry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a normal thing from time to time. We all worry, but sometimes we worry too much.
Mm-hmm.
Max worried too much in the story. Sometimes I worry too much, and that gets in the way of me enjoying life and just having fun.
Yep.
So does Mrs. Bennett have anything she wanted to add before we share with you guys? Still there.
Let's see. I think one of my worries is often like is safety, is kids getting hurt. The kids, my kids or kids that at school, I kind of get a little cloudy when they're making maybe not so safe choices. It makes me a little worried and anxious.
Sure. Yeah, I used to worry my kids were going to get hurt in hockey or when they played contact sports. So those are normal worries. So let's hear from all of you. What are some things that make your brain cloudy?
Jaden?
One of mine is there's this fox in our there's a fox in our neighborhood, and that gets me my brain cloudy.
Yeah, a
'Cause
fox?
whenever like I'm playing basketball or like playing in the backyard, I'm always worried if it's going to like come like chase after me.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't blame you.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds worrisome.
Yeah.
And I saw it this morning running through my backyard getting breakfast.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Well, you live in there's lots of woods in back of your yard, right?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of grass, and then there's just like a bunch of like woods.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else have other worries?
Michael?
So my sister always runs outside without us sometimes. So I like when we don't have because she likes to run outside,
and I get nervous because like because my driveway like doesn't have a fence.
Yeah.
Because
So you
So you
worry that
worry
somebody
about her?
hurt?
yeah, she like
That would be a normal worry.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's-
Anyone else have any other worries or things that make their brain cloudy?
Matthew, M? Matthew M, did you have something?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
So there's a path between me and my friend's backyard. So sometimes we walk through that, but sometimes when I like walk through that at night, it's really dark out and there's barely any light. So it's just kind of scary because you're like in the woods walking home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are great examples, boys and girls, and those are completely normal worries. Now, obviously, we want to be a little bit cautious and careful around bees and all of those examples you mentioned. We don't want people getting hurt, right? So we have to take certain steps to protect ourselves. If we're worrying too much to the point where we never went outside again, right, to play because we thought, oh, I'm going to get bitten by a fox or something else might happen, then we're worrying too much, right? So there's some steps we can take to keep ourselves safe. Is anybody worried about germs? Is that on anybody's mind?
Paige?
What's happening?
Yeah.
That one used to worry me, and I thought we could do, I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm gonna try to put up 3 steps for how we could think about germs if germs are worrying you. Not sure if you can see it, boys and girls. I'll read it to you as well. Let's see if it goes better that way. So if we think about the ABC strategy, step 1, accept how you feel. We have to accept, for any of you that are afraid of germs, you'd say, germs scare me, right? Step 2, breathe slow and deep. You could do that pizza breath. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6, and that will help your brain calm down a little bit. And step 3, change your thinking. Instead of thinking, oh, germs are just so scary and there's nothing I can do about it, you can think, change your thinking to, there's a lot I can do to stay safe. You could wash your hands, you could sneeze into your elbow, and you can get enough sleep. So you have some control over staying safe, right? So this step 3 is about kicking into problem solving mode. What can you do, right? And how can you change your thinking instead of just thinking about the fear, think about the good things that could happen. So, Mrs. Diamond, did you have any thoughts about, did you want the kids to write anything or did they already do that?
No,
Okay.
they haven't already done it, but I did send along the sentence frame for them to do. I did do that, Mrs. Bennett, right? Remind me? I did? Okay. So I'm going to have them do that for homework for tomorrow. Tomorrow, right, Mrs. Bennett?
I think so.
I can't remember. I'll have to look on my portal. But I think for reading tomorrow, they're going to do the when my brain is
Cloudy?
foggy and when my brain is clear. And they're going to fill in those 2 sentences and draw a picture.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Paul did such a fantastic job. This was such a great opportunity for me to get to meet you. And you all did such a lovely job with that beautiful video for Mrs. Diamond. I loved your pictures.
I shared that with Mrs. Foy and Mrs. Larenko, second grade.
Yeah, that thing.
Yes. Thank you so
made me
much.
Smile.
Yeah. What do we say to Mrs. Foy for coming on today?
Thank you, Mrs. Boy.
Yeah.